I'm starting to collect the Infinity Stones. These are detailed, comprehensive documents from two separate 8-hour sessions that we had in the past week. So this first one, the EOS one that you can see right here in the back, this was our leadership team meeting that we had in person in Connecticut, where we had our lead social media manager, our lead scriptwriter, and our post-production manager all at a meeting with our EOS business coach to go over what the priorities were for the quarter and what everyone will be working on, and just overall fleshing through goals, vision of the company, value, etc., core values, that is. And really just like building the foundations of the business as if I were to have actually completed business school. That's what I view EOS as. So this is a super comprehensive document. And then this one right here is the document from the VAM workshop. So this is a $35,000 session that I did with Alex Hormozi's team in Vegas that I just got back from. And this is a comprehensive document based off of the 50 plus pages of notes that I took that you may see in the video that I put out yesterday. So for anybody, AKA me, that haphazardly wonders why I haven't been getting the most incredible sleep as of recent, it's because this is the kind of stuff that I'm reading before I go to bed. Workshop debrief like this, or business playbooks like this one right here. So I left a nice table of contents for myself at the front of this one, or other documents of that sort. One of the things that I've been ruthless on has been the collection of knowledge and never being against or unwilling to pay lots of money during the situation in order to be able to acquire knowledge that I don't have previously. Now, the big caveat to that has been only acquiring the knowledge in a short, narrow field that's directly applicable to the work that I'll be doing every day. Like right now, sales is not our constraint. If I were to just go do a sales mastermind, it wouldn't be the smartest thing ever, because I'd have hesitance to actually implement what's going on. I'm in pain, mental pain of fulfillment, team building, and our offer right now. So when I can join things like acquisition, VAM, or EOS, for example, that helps us with that, we can get information, I can apply it right away. So there's like the pyramid of learning. You have like, if you hear something, it's one thing. If you read something, you learn it and retain it a little bit better. If you see it, hear it, and read it, then you retain it like the third layer. And then if you teach it, it's the next layer, which is honestly why I do a lot of these YouTube videos right here, so I can just recap and teach and retain things. Teach, like, it's really just notes to self. I get like 3 views max on these videos, and I honestly don't care. Like, I'm honestly worried for if I ever actually end up getting views on these videos, because I just want to keep this as like a documentative, new word, series where I'm just going over a life. And then the last one is actually taking action. So like being able to retain stuff at an ultra high level when like you get something. This is from the profit implementation workshop from acquisition, from the group that Alex Hormozi has on school. Like, if I actually do, like, if I could just read this, I actually did read this a couple weeks ago, and I remember like one thing from it. I remember a concept of one thing from it because I just had read it and actually do anything about it, didn't actually teach anything from it. Now, if I were to go in and immediately do something about the stuff that was inside of this, which is probably what I should have done, I probably would remember it better. But join a program like VAM. They give you the 3 action items, and you freaking execute on all of them. So I'm going to get to this. One of the things that I've got in the pipeline coming up is a detailed video on the VAM session that we did and what my takeaways were from that. But it feels really good to be back at home in Arizona, where I can actually sleep in my own bed and think clearly and not ingest ridiculous amounts of information. Because right now is like that critical point where I'm sort of holding the line, because there's so many like minutia tasks that have to get done before we can like be, quote, above water. But there's also a few really big boy tasks that need to get done with the information that was learned in the past week. So I'm holding the line, and I opted to just corral all of my notes so I could create this document today. That way I have all the takeaways centralized, and it forced me to actually go through all of the notes, so I was able to just like retain them a little bit better. So that's what I ended up doing today, apart from just like, laundry, unpacking. We also had an interview today in person in Vegas. That's another thing that I want to touch on today, actually. But I'll wrap up the last point I was making, which is like holding the line, and really like making sure that the critical tasks are getting done. And sometimes the micro fires and the daily to-dos can wait. And that's the case for this weekend. So Monday, the bell's going to ring. I've got a combined 25 calls on Monday and Tuesday. So we're really excited about that. The bell's going to ring. That's what I mean by that. But either way, today was a really good day. Woke up at about 6:15, took a shower, packed up, headed over to this coffee spot called Gabi, Gabi, really cool coffee spot. Had a really good cappuccino. So I went over there this morning to meet up with our newest scriptwriter that we just brought on the team. We've identified through EOS acquisition and my personal sanity, just getting lost a lot more recently, that the script writing role to fill is our biggest number one constraint. So we hired a new scriptwriter today. We met up in person, got to talk about the trial project that he did, which got done really well. So I'm very excited to onboard him. I'm going to be going over his onboarding process. So that was one big thing that I learned from the VAM session yesterday, was the way to properly onboard someone is to take the critical tasks that they're going to actually do. So like, let's say if I was a landscaper, and these are just going to be terrible examples, but I'm using it to illustrate the point. Let's say I was a landscaper. You have cutting the grass, pulling the weeds, and putting fertilizer on the lawn. So cutting the grass at first, if I'm a pro landscaper and someone is a new landscaper, at first it will be, I do, you watch for like the first week. I'll mow the lawn, you just watch and take notes. On week 2, you mow half the lawn, I mow half the lawn. On week 3, you mow the lawn, I'll watch and take notes and correct in live time. And by week 4, you should be mowing the lawn, and I'll just give you feedback after the lawn's mowed. Now, fertilizer is a bit easier. So at first, I'll do, you watch, but then halfway through week 1, you'll do it and I'll watch. And then if you do a good job, then you immediately can start taking over. You do, I just review. So basically taking all of the critical tasks that somebody will do on like as part of their job. So like whatever was in their job description, let's say they have 7 main responsibilities. It's broken down week by week when they'll end up taking over that function fully. Now that's something that I don't think, I'm going to give myself a little bit of grace here and not call it a misstep, because I just didn't know this framework when I brought on the post-production manager a couple weeks back. But the misstep was just like not having a really structured onboarding past like, hey, here's how to use the tools that we use. Here's how to log on to the software. Here's how to use Slack. There wasn't really much onboarding past that. So I'm going to go back and create one of these matrices of just like responsibility when you take over, responsibility when you take over. Alex calls it the skill transfer framework, and I'm really excited to start rolling that out. So there's that and a bunch of other big takeaways that I had from the event. We'll go through. It'll probably be a pretty lengthy video, but tomorrow is going to be really big. We're going over our sales script, new offer document, updated onboarding process, and then or for clients, and then onboarding process for our scriptwriter. So really excited to have a good deep work day tomorrow. I'm just here at the apartment, not traveling, no calls on the board, airplane mode on the phone, and super pumped. And I should have probably mentioned this earlier in the video, but like so critical to just be appreciative of life. Today I got news that the helicopter I went on when I was in Hawaii, the same helicopter tour company that I did my helicopter flight through literally 3 weeks ago, 3.5, 4 weeks ago. One of their helicopters crashed today, made national news. 3 people dead, 2 severely injured. So had I have gone yesterday to Hawaii and gone on that helicopter tour, like that could have been me. It's just like a good reframe that life is not guaranteed. We're all going to be finished with life one way or another, so important to enjoy it while we're here, treat people right, and understand like all the problems you're going through are solvable, even the really hard ones that piss you off on a daily basis. So not to add any sap and sorrow right before we sign off, but it's important. We appreciate our life because it is a good one. I'll see you tomorrow.